Okay. So yes, that was we have Paul Coe and Everett with us from MEMA, and welcome Michelle Blair is here um, to talk about the resiliency program that they have for the community through her organization, and we have Jenny with the American Red Cross. Scott Crawford is here, and Kamalu, and Alana, and myself. Dawn sent an email to me earlier that she's driving right now back from the other side. So she may be able to jump on at some point, but we'll just. Oh, and we have someone named Gordon coming in.
I just wanted to mention too is that Sergeant Arkansas said that the training was running late. So Ian, I'm not sure who Gordon is, but he's running late. So Ian Custer may be joining in also. So I'm not sure.
What training are they doing today?
Police training in Kihei.
Oh, okay. Hi, Gordon.
Yeah, I got his text when I reached.
Do you want to share who you are for our record?
I can help. Gordon Gillis, American Red Cross.
Oh, great.
That's right. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Um, well, with that, oh, she just popped on and popped back off. Great. Welcome back, Michelle. I was wondering if you, since you are new to our East Maui Ready organization, if you would want to give an introduction for yourself.
Her audio was just connecting while you were saying that, so she may not know you were talking to her.
Michelle, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the organization? You're on mute. Oh, and Jimmy, you're here too. Sorry, I didn't acknowledge you, but I'm grateful for your presence. Okay, well, we'll let Michelle turn her audio on and join in when she can. In the meantime, oh, there you. Nope. Okay, we're gonna go forward. So, I personally just had a short call with Lay. She is, so we'll just go down the agenda here with COVID updates. I know there's still reported increase in cases here, and some of them are seriously affecting families. So we want to just remain vigilant. Vigilant. Anyway, do you have any updates from the county, Claire, that you want to add? Oh, Dawn's coming in now too.
I don't have any updates at this time. I did speak with Senator Coit this past week, and I just relayed a message that one of her office manager may be joining in the call also. There may be some funding to contribute to the cause. So that's it for now.
Um, and then as far as I kind of changed the heading of this one to incident command so that if there's representatives from MEMA, the police, Arhana Police, and Red Cross to go ahead and give updates with current things that we need to be thinking about. So please join in. Jenny, Everett folks.
Sure, sure. Aloha East Maui Ready team. Great to see you. Sorry we missed last month's meeting. I'm sure it went well. We are busy preparing for hurricane season. And we'll be making a trip out next month to look at our inventory one more time, make sure it's upgraded. We've duplicated some keys and passed them along so that in an emergency we're ready. I know you all were asking for blankets and MREs. We have those for you. So let me know when you are ready for those. We'd like to bring them out.
Dawn, you are on the call now. Are you able to join in? Do you, oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Do you want to, is there a time that would be good to meet for the container?
I haven't come up with a time yet to do that.
Okay. We'll just make sure we mark that as an action item so that we can get that coordinated with you, Jenny. And then, is there any plans for additional, like trainings or another trip out here for anything else with follow-up for fire alarms or anything from what we did last month, or a schedule that we should be thinking about?
So we wrapped up our smoke alarms, but if there was need, we would certainly be willing to install more in HANA. So continue to circulate that among those you know. If they need a smoke alarm, we'd be happy to do that. If there's a particular training you're interested in, for instance, psychological first aid, we'd love to bring that to you. Or any other trainings, maybe a shelter stand-up training, we would love to do that. So discuss that among your membership, and we'll bring it. We'd be happy to do that at your convenience.
Was the shelter survey, is that now complete for HANA School?
Thank you for asking. Yes, we completed the shelter survey for HANA School. It's been updated in the NSS. So that's a big accomplishment. It's been 12 years in the waiting. So, and we've been doing that in other rural areas, Molokai and Lanai as well. So that makes us feel more prepared. So we're in good standing there. And, you know, just thank you so much to East Maui Ready for hosting us, allowing us to bring CPR first aid, and meet some of your membership. And gain new partnership volunteers. We quadrupled our volunteers on that visit. So you have truly been wonderful partners to the Red Cross, and we'd like to continue building our partnership with you. So let us know what you need.
Great, that's good. We want that. We want to hear that. We want to see that happening. The more that we can, I know, you know, we have a project impact from the past, but we've been updating that with East Maui Ready. I think maybe a follow-up step coming would be to just make sure that we were really joined together to make sure that we're representing the things that for outreach and, you know, how to take action for certain steps. I know that for us, that one thing that's been a priority is like trainings for getting you know, points of contact for each community area, for helicopter landing sites, and how to, you know, do the drop-offs and that types of things. So I think that there may be call to really have more of a community contact or a coordination meeting, and Sergeant Alkansall is joining in the call. So he's our incident commander. So you know, maybe with one of these police outreach things, we can present something, but I think there might be a call to really look at some of the areas that we need to make sure we have organized so we're ready. Welcome, Sergeant Alkinsall.
Oh, sorry, just got into home.
Yeah. Kamalu gave us a heads up that you had a training in Kihei, so thank you for making the effort. Well, Michelle Blair was going to give us a presentation on the program that they have, and she dropped off. So we'll just, if she can get back in, we'll get an update from her. Otherwise, I'll follow up in an email, and I'll just share again if you hadn't seen this or looked at it, which was linked in our in the email. There's a camp no disaster. It's hosted by Michelle and David Blair, I believe. Michelle used to be the Red Cross coordinator for the island. Do you know her, Jenny?
Absolutely. She was my predecessor of 10 years, so incredibly knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be back on to share Camp No Disaster so she can log back on.
Yeah, so communication disasters, they happen all the time. But anyway, this sounds really like something that's right up the alley of what East Maui Ready would be about, and something that, it's coming up, though. It's coming up fairly soon. So I want to see if we want to participate as an organization, and, what the best way to do that would be. So we'll see if we can get information on that. Otherwise, I invite you all to just take a look at this, and we'll see what unfolds. So
Can you give a brief description, Heidi? What is Camp No Disaster, just for my notes?
yeah, so the organization is Island Divvy. They have an upcoming event for June 18th. It's a virtual event about sheltering in place at home, that's for being prepared in the event of an emergency, but this is around hurricane season. I think that's a good nutshell.
Copy that.
And I will put the I'll go ahead and put the this link to the PDF about it in the chat, Alana, so you can just copy that into it.
And Borga, buddy.
Alrighty. So it's a resiliency challenge. Mima, folks, do you have anything that you'd like to share?
Yes. So let's see. First off, we have our emergency preparedness fair or expo coming up on Saturday, June 4th at Queen Ka'ahumanu Center. It's back to that annual event that we had previous to COVID, but there is 19 agencies that have presence there. Each of them have a table, and it's designed. It's if you've ever been to any of the previous years ones, it's designed to be in conjunction with hurricane season. And granted, we just came out of COVID, and hopefully nothing big happens. But it's going to be at Queen Kaumana Center. I can email. I'm not sure if you folks got the flyers about it. thought it would have, if not, I'll email it to you folks. But we've got agencies like American Red Cross will be there, Feed My Sheep. We'll have FEMA presence there, Pacific Disaster Center, National Weather Service. Our CERT table will be there, as well as amateur radio will be there. And we've got county agencies, fire department will have a presence there. Office on Aging will be there as well, and Department of Health, Maui office will be there. So just to name a few, but it's happening next week, Saturday. On top of that, as you guys know, hurricane season coming up on June 1st through November 30th. And we have our CERT program has started back up. We had our virtual open house end of March. I'm sorry, end of April. And part of that is I've revamped the program, so it's partially part of it is online, so it's a self-paced portion, and then we have a in-person skills test and final exam as the hands-on part with our fire department instructors. And beyond that, it's kind of similar to what we've had before in the program. But beyond that, we've already gotten into discussions and planning with the police department. We spoke with chief and deputy chief regarding utilizing the CERT volunteers in certain operations in the police department, namely traffic control at events like the Maui County Fair, things like that. And also started discussions with the Fire Prevention Bureau from Maui Fire Department. So we're partnering with them as well. And then also emergency communications via amateur radio or any means possible to get information back to the EOC. But heavily partnered with the Aries team, specifically the Maui district. So we've got that in place. We'll be running that and looking for more opportunities for our volunteers to participate in. We have, like I mentioned, we have Paul Cole here, our operations section chief, and he is our spearhead on training for our EOC partners. And Jenny knows this as well, but I'll let him kind of explain a little bit what we're looking to do, with the direction of the EOC with partners training in the ICS and just what levels we have. Just to give an overview so that everyone understands how the I guess you could say the chain of command, I guess, works, or how the lines of communication work, and where we go with that. So I'll let.
To me?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess, and it's not, some of this too is to see, I know I saw on the agenda, on your guys' agenda that you sent out about the ICS classes and such, that you were looking to potentially take through the FEMA Emergency Management Institute online. I guess the process with that is, those are free classes for personnel to take. There's no cost to them. You just got to register and get your student ID for the Emergency Management Institute, and then those the IS level courses, which are all the independent study courses, are all free to take and go through at your leisure. So there may be even stuff beyond just that, the 100, 700, 200, 800 that personnel may be interested in looking at. Also, there's classes in regards to working with shelters, animals in shelters, just kind
Volunteer.
of volunteers, and it just, and it starts off with basic information and builds onto that. What we're doing here at the EOC is we're looking to kind of more solidify the training requirements for those personnel in here within the EOC, with different levels of training, starting at that basic level and ensuring that the personnel coming in here have that basic training. And then the next level would involve, a little more in depth, getting in the ICS process, and then building upon that to where the leadership within the EOC would have, the higher level classes. A good, within our EOC, we're really promoting the IS 2200, which is a self-paced course, and then we're looking at doing the was it G? Is that what it is, or is it K?
The 23.
2300.
Yeah. K.
Yeah, which all that means is it's a in-person classes, and getting those classes delivered here at the EOC for us and our partners, and then including some beyond that, more specific position-specific training for like situational awareness and planning, and getting more of the personnel within the EOC building that training knowledge and skills.
And a lot of this actually goes towards the reason for all this formalized training, and the focus towards it is it's all of anyone with who gets grant funding will need to show what qualifications each the organization has with the personnel within, and it's tied to and that's what will happen when, like, say if it's Homeland Security.
Yeah, it's not just strictly any grant funding.
Yeah.
We're talking like the preparedness Homeland Security grant funding. So like the emergency preparedness grants that we get to help out police and fire and such, and help
Organizations.
and equipment and that kind of stuff requires that we be able to show that the personnel within the EOC and such are qualified. Now that doesn't mean that as your agency's volunteer agency, it doesn't mean you guys have to have that meet those requirements. But it is just it is a good knowledge. You work with Sergeant Alcancel. He's, as he says, he's our remote incident, ICP incident command post commander. I'm sure he's taken some of the courses, to facilitate that process. If any of you assist him within that remote ICP, it's probably good information for you to take on. Get started on some of those classes.
Well, I know that this last month I think it was just last month, but I mean, it's the first time that Dawn and Sergeant Alcancel have actually met, and Dawn has kind of been our go-to person for the volunteer response and connected with the community and some of the other agency work. So, with Kamalu, working now with the mayor's office and you know, just the different people that are showing up as Red Cross volunteers, you know, I think it's great if we can just reinforce the network that we've established and know, you know, what is expected of the community and really what we can do, because these Maui people will show up. And that goes to, like, as far as the trainings that are available online. If you can just send an email to the info@eastmauiready.org. You know, we send emails to you guys, so I know you have it. You know, just please send us the flyers for the event coming up next weekend in Kahului, and we can send that out with the, you know, just the update from the minutes tonight and any other things that we want to, you know, have community participation in here.
And in response to that, Heidi, Nima, can you guys, where do we get the training that you were just talking about? Because myself being a CERT trained member, I've not been notified of the new classes. I'm just wondering, is there a URL that you can share that I can put in the minutes for that training, please?
So are you talking the CERT training that Everett's getting going, or the emergency management training?
The emergency management, the additional training.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll send an email to you guys listing all that is and where you can get it and how and the links to the site and in particular those initial courses that would probably be of interest.
Okay, thank you.
And
You
then
don't have the
also-
URL on hand, do you?
No, I'm sorry. I don't have this site open.
Alana,
And,
I think we have it on our email actually too. Here, I'll put it in the chat.
It's very easy to, and it's the FEMA Emergency Management Institute. So. Yeah. Well, those are the initial courses. Yep, there you go. So training.fema.gov, and then you'll just
Awesome,
want to look for on the left-hand side. You see there's where it says IS Home and IS Course List. That IS, that independent study, and there's the link up top where it says independent study that'll take you to that specific information for those courses.
Great. And yeah, just to reiterate from last month, Jimmy was mentioning, and I put that in the email, he sent this information to us, that the staff with the national parks is all trained with the ICS 100 and the IS 700 courses. So those were recommended for the general public. Okay.
And then I'll also I'll email about the revamp of the CERT program with additional what's going to come on to, like, really online in the next 6 months or so. So that way everyone's aware of what's going on with the CERT program.
Thank you. Sergeant Elkinsall, I know you've been having these community meetings. How's that been going?
It's been going good. We've been getting more turnouts every month. June 7th, our chief of police is supposed to be out here to meet the community and answer questions and talk to the community. So if you guys feel free to come by at the Hana Bay Pavilion. He should be here. I just got word today that he had caught COVID. Yesterday tested positive, so he had his 5 days isolation, and hopefully he's no more symptoms and whatnot. He can return to work. So June 7th is still kind of far out there, so it shouldn't be an issue, but we don't know how he's gonna react to the virus. So our prayers to him, and hopefully he's got a speedy recovery.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, good. And I know when those flyers have gone out, Scott's been putting them out in Kamalu, so we get them in social media. So thank you guys. It's great. So next on the agenda is National Park update.
How we doing? Thanks. Haleakala Kipahulu. So yeah, things are going big in the park right now. We're probably averaging just over 1,200 visitors per day right now, and the 2 years prior to the pandemic, the busiest weekend of the whole entire year, it was Memorial Day weekend. So this is kind of the kickoff of summer for every national park in the country. It's Memorial Day to Labor Day. So yeah, this is going to be we're anticipating one of the biggest weekends that's coming up. What else? We did open our campground. We are now open up to 20 sites right now. It is all available on recreation.gov. That's recreation.gov. And we have 20 sites. That includes 15 drive-in and 5 walk-in sites along the coastline there. The group set campsite is still closed at this time. Eventually that will open up. I think we're all aware. I think I saw emails coming out to me, but yes, we did that missing persons, Tom Lockhart. It's we've kind of concluded that search for Tom there. And it's another one of those sad stories. I will just about the media post. I did say we did not confirm that Tom entered the park. We did get some footage of him on the highway. We know his intentions were to enter the park, but I just want to, we don't have confirmation that he was in the park. But yeah, I think our best guess, he probably went off trail, tried to make a calculated decisions, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. So other than that, we we have our mitigation. We're keeping up to date on our COVID stuff. Everyone's pretty healthy right now. We are required to wear masks inside all government buildings. We encourage visitors to use, but at this point, no one's really wearing them anymore. Our rangers pretty much wear them all the time, though. We do have 2 new employees we just hired. Noah Kalaole, Mikey Prayer, for anyone that knows those 2 young men. So they just started up. We're pretty happy to have them part of our team up here. And our stream monitoring system. So yeah, I submitted the contract. It's in the process of being awarded. So we will be rehabilitating that stream monitoring system. And so that should be done sometime early summer. So it'll be good to get that going again. And then once that system's back in place and we have our safety mitigations in place, visitors will be allowed to swim in the lower pools. We've already closed off all access into the gulch above the highway, but they will be allowed to refresh down in those lower pools. And that's all I can think about for Kipahulu, unless everybody else got any questions. I am a big promoter of that ICS training. As you know, everyone in the national park is required to take ICS 100 every 3 years. In Kipahulu, also incorporated ICS 700 once every 3 years. So we're all up to date on that stuff. And I've been working really, I've been really communicating a lot lately with Sergeant Alconsall and Sergeant Cussard and stuff. So that's been going great, keeping tabs with them and everything. So that's it, unless anyone's got any questions.
How long has it been that people haven't been able to swim at the park?
It was January 1st, 2020. So 2.5 years. If anyone recalls, when Verizon and AT&T for what I know, they did those upgrades on those towers. I don't know if you remember when everyone's phone started going to get bad reception all of a sudden at that same time. And that's what it all started up right there. And then, as you probably know, we've had a series of dramatic, very, very devastating storms that compromised our system. So we're definitely putting mitigations in place to help, so these, putting in, I'm trying to eliminate a lot of those single point of failures and getting backups and that kind of stuff. So these situations won't happen moving forward. We'll be able to keep the system
Jimmy, is
maintained.
that 1,200 cars per day or 1,200 visitors?
Visitors, that's about 1,200 visitors per
Okay.
day. We're
Okay. How many
averaging
cars?
probably cars, we are averaging approximately 485 vehicles per day. And the way we do the math is, we estimate there's approximately 2 to 3 people per every car. So I just take the number of vehicles, 485, and times it by 2.5. And that's where I get how many, it's all an average right there.
Yeah, okay. Roger that.
Roger that.
Thank you. Let's see. Dawn, are you able to give us an update on the upcoming comprehensive economic development strategy meetings?
Well, the email went out, you sent it out. It's coming up on June 2nd. There's about, I don't know, 10 or 12 areas that they've been inquiring about in all these meetings that you see listed here. I've attended several of them. They're very good meetings, very productive meetings. And I would encourage anyone from our community who is available and who has interest in any one of these areas for East Maui to please attend the June 2nd meeting. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we
just-
heard you.
I lost my sound somehow. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see, the next thing, our administration, I spoke with Kamalu, who has agreed to facilitate this meeting starting next month in June and be our East Maui Ready admin. Alana, we'd love to keep you as the recording secretary. Minutes are everybody's nemesis, and if you can show up, when you can show up, it's always grateful to have your assistance. You're very good at this. But as far as just being somebody who's on point to help pull the agenda together and make sure that our documentation and follow through with emails is tracked, you know, those are important things for our organization. So I'm grateful for that. I've also, we need to follow up on the contacts that Lei Naala Perry made through the pandemic for the different regional areas. So those will be some of the things that we'll continue to just make sure we have representation of leadership throughout East Maui. And hopefully we'll have more people attending over time as things develop with trainings and whatnot that might make it more of an interactive experience across East Maui on an ongoing basis. With that being said, with the rise of the COVID cases recently, Lei is still delivering supplies and doing quite a bit of outreach for families. I just spoke with her a little earlier. She was going to try to make it to the call, but clearly that wasn't possible. So we've actually increased the GoFundMe fundraiser. We had previously generated about $2,800 in revenues, but there's still outstanding expenses that were reported through Holani Hana managing this of about $1,300. So we increased what we had as a $4,000 to $5,000, and I have a flyer that we can print out on that and just start putting out. So I'll share that with everybody on our list. And yeah, I think that's what I had for now. I don't have a plan to actually write an OED grant for East Maui Ready for 2023. So if there are funds, hopefully with the support from MEMA and Red Cross, that emergency supplies and whatnot will be handled through our local emergency response agencies, and we'll just have a locally trained and at the ready community otherwise. But if there are things that we need to generate funds for, we can continue to be looking at that, and really ask your leadership from the agencies to help support how you see that needs to be shared. Please, Kamala, go ahead. That's what I was going to ask too, if there's anything from the mayor's office that you wanted to bring into the conversation too.
This is actually not from the mayor. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm liaison of East Maui. So I just got distracted for a little bit and got off the phone with Robin Cheadle. Monday and Tuesday, they were working on the drains on Waikani, mile marker 19. Sunny Vix has the contract. So there's a couple of, should I say, things that they are already taking note. They actually had to swipe some of the asphalt off because it was too heavy. The bridge is exposed, about 5 feet long and 3 feet wide of just pure bridge. But Sunny Vix is the contractor that will be bringing in the hot mix soon to do the patchwork on Waikani. There is a number of things going on the 4th. I wanted to mention, we have a celebration of fathers. We have emergency at Kaumanu. We have the Egg Fest down in the fairgrounds, I believe. And it's going to be a busy week on June 4th. Let's see. But it was kind of crazy day about, I'm addressing issues in the Kenai area also, which I'm work in progress. But I don't think the budgets are quite finished yet. And that's about it. Thank you.
All right. Well, I didn't get a response back from Michelle Blair about her joining us, so I will just ask her to give us some support to see about how we want to jump into doing something for this program that she has going. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to add to the meeting tonight?
Hi, sorry, just for notes purpose, what is the ARIES program for MEMA? If they can answer that question for me.
Yeah, the ARIES, it's amateur radio emergency services. So it's ham radio actually. So in fact, I'll make sure I include the link to the ARIES site as well.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Do we have any projections? Are we expecting hurricanes this season? Kamalu has her fingers crossed. We'll be fine.
So the NOAA's projection for this year was 2 to 4, not specific for Hawaii, but 2 to 4 within the Central Pacific. And whether that's forming in the Central Pacific or crossing over from the Eastern Pacific. They say we're still in La Nina conditions, which means and this will be the 3rd year in a row, which is pretty rare. It's only the, what they say, 2nd or 3rd time in the last 50 years. It's been 3 years in a row. Means cooler waters on the equator. And they say even the waters around Hawaii are slightly cooler, below average. So just, I mean, we're just talking, like 1/10 of a degree, but that can actually make a difference in how hurricanes form and they travel. So what else was it? Oh, but the other side of that with the La Nina piece is dry weather. That also promotes drier weather. So they're expecting below the droughts to continue, below average rainfall. And they were saying all areas of the islands. They said, those windward areas will still get their rainfall, but they will but they will even notice potentially it will be it'll be less than maybe what they would normally get in the windward areas. So, and the fires, the wild brush fire season, which normally peaks mid-July, they're talking like late June peak for it this year. So. So good on potentially less, hurricane risk. Again, that doesn't say that that's what Hawaii is going to get. We can see none of it even close to us, but as we always say, it only takes one. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's better to be prepared, and I think it's important that if we can support families to be thinking about it, then we need to be doing that. The other thing is, just as far as visitor traffic and whatnot, and again, big weekend coming up, Scott, I had sent the flyers that I had made previously and posted up at Waioka to educate people about the risks for the pool, and I know that parking is just out of control over there. Has anything come up as far as Kailua or Waioka that we need to just make sure we're tracking on at all right now that anyone's aware of?
Well, we did hear in a ordinance in the IT committee, and we are going to be hopefully installing no parking signs on Uakea Road from Hau'oli down to the dead end, not up across from the school and the ballpark and all of that area, but just going down. So there will be no parking signs on both sides of the road. That passed committee, so it still needs to be heard by the council, but it had full support. So that might be kind of helpful in that area.
Scott, was there anything that was brought up at any of the Ke'ahali'i meetings for the signage at Waioka?
No discussion of signage. We have been following up on the water quality monitoring. I think last month it didn't happen, but we've been working with Surfrider Foundation and have done 2 or 3 tests so far. And as far as Waioka, the water quality looks good. There's no hazardous levels of what they're testing for there. So.
Well, I'll just keep my floodgates open picture as my backdrop, just to remind us all. What happens. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, at least we're not ending on super high drama. And I think does anyone else have anything else they want to add? Otherwise, we can close and just take a couple deep breaths and clear this last meeting of the day, hopefully, for all of us. All right. So let's do this. Take a nice, easy, deep breath in from deep in your belly. Anu iloko. Anu iwaho. Anu iloko. Anu iwaho. Anu iloko. Anu iwaho. Mahalo, everyone.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, everyone.
Mahalo.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Ohiho.
I was just going to ask